The Jeff Lebby era has officially begun in Starkville. These are 3 bold predictions for the 2024 Mississippi State Bulldogs football season. Hello, everyone. I'm Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell icon as well so you get notifications of when we go live and when we drop new video content, which is each and every single day. Also, guys, check out the podcast, which drops daily on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow along on social media, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and also keep up to date with all the latest from us at our website, SECUnfiltered.com. The following is brought to you by our friends over at RHOBACK. You see me rocking the RHOBACK polo, guys, whether I'm creating content at home, I'm hanging out around the house, I'm on the town running errands, I'm on the golf course, of course, or I'm at the big game, I'm at the tailgate, whatever it is, guys, I'm normally rocking my RHOBACK. These polos, the pullovers, the quarter zips, guys, it's some of the most comfortable clothing I have ever worn. I swear by RHOBACK. I'm telling you guys, with the weather warming up, right, all my golfers out there especially, you're a big golfer like me, there's no better gear to rock than our friends at RHOBACK. And guys, again, like I said, it's good for the tailgate as well. It's good for hanging out around the house, guys. They've got workout shirts. They've got pants. They got everything you could ask for. RHOBACK.com, promo code SECU at checkout. It's going to get you 20% off your entire order on your first purchase. Again, RHOBACK.com, promo code SECU, 20% off. That's a large chunk of change. We could all use saving 20% off. Let's be honest. Again, RHOBACK.com, promo code SECU. That's 20% off all their t-shirts, their hoodies, their polos, their quarter zips. You name it, everything on their shop. 20% off. Promo code SECU at checkout over at RHOBACK, RHOBACK.com. A new era of football has begun in Starkville as Jeff Lebby has officially taken over. These are 3 bold predictions for year 1 of the Jeff Lebby era and Mississippi State football. And the first one is this, guys. The over-under win totals were released from Vegas just a couple weeks ago. And as you can imagine, right, the expectations for Mississippi State are going to be low this season, as indicated by that number of 4.5. But when you look at State's schedule, and I think the first thing, guys, when you look at this year, you got to keep in mind, and I'm not saying I'm picking State to go 10-2 or 11-1. I think you have to be realistic with the job that Jeff Lebby's taken over and what the talent looks like right now in Starkville. But you look at the schedule, right? You open up with 3 straight non-conference games. Eastern Kentucky, at Arizona State, and Tempe's a really interesting one, and then Toledo. Then you get into SEC play. And I think you look at, because I would be honestly surprised, guys, if Mississippi State did not pull an upset or 2 this season, because it's the SEC. Anybody can beat anybody. Mississippi State has enough talent to catch fire on a Saturday and beat anybody on their schedule. So what are the top candidates for a big upset, or what folks would consider a big upset? You got a game against Florida on September the 21st in Starkville. You got a game against Texas A&M in Starkville in the middle of October. How about that game against Arkansas end of October? This also in Starkville. You got that game at Tennessee. Maybe that's asking a little bit much, but you never know. It's late in the season, but you do got to go to Rocky Top for that one. Then you got Mizzou in Starkville. You got at Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl to end the year, which, hey, you never know what that one might hold. And certainly there's going to be a lot of motivation for Jeff Lebby and Mississippi State, especially with the recent news of Zach Arnett joining Lane Kiffin's staff at Ole Miss. So which of these games would be most likely, guys? Again, my first bold prediction is this. Mississippi State is going to pull an upset this year. And that upset's going to come in their SEC opener at home against the Florida Gators. Florida's a team, listen, I don't know that this should be considered much of an upset, to be honest with you, with what Florida's got. Their issues, of course, they do return Graham Mertz, and I think it's a Florida football team that, do they have enough to overachieve? We'll see. They do have some pieces, and hey, at the end of the day, they're still Florida, right? They've got talent, and I think most folks, if not all folks, are going to be picking Florida to win this football game, guys. I think Jeff Lebby and company, after 3 non-conference games, to work out some of the kinks, to get that offense humming right, figure some things out defensively, just get their feet wet a bit. I think Mississippi State will take down the Florida Gators in front of a raucous Davis Wade Stadium. The cowbells will be out. The cowbells will be loud. And I think Jeff Lebby is going to get his life in the SEC as a head coach started off with a bang with a big upset win over Billy Napier and the Florida Gators at home. My second bold prediction, something I didn't understand, guys. There was a lot of negative chatter, both from Mississippi State fans and not Mississippi State fans, regarding the addition of Blake Shapen, the transfer quarterback from Baylor. Now, I'm not saying Blake Shapen was a Heisman Trophy caliber quarterback, but guys, this is a guy that was an all-conference player at Baylor just 2 seasons ago. Last year got banged up, right? Threw for just 2,188 yards. He was really good, though, when healthy. 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Was having a great year. Back in 2022, he threw for 2,790 yards, 18 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. My second bold prediction is this, guys. Not only is Blake Shapen going to have the best season of his career this year, Blake Shapen is going to eclipse 3,500 yards passing. Now, this might seem like a lot. Why am I saying this? Well, here's the reason, guys. Number one, I think Blake Shapen's vastly underrated. Really, truly, I do. You look at this guy again, I think people are forgetting he was an all-conference caliber player. I think you look at his game, you look at the film, he's got some things he's got to shore up, but I think he's got all the talent and all the tools in the world. Now he's got Jeff Lebby calling the shots for him. And you look back at Jeff Lebby's offense, guys, at Oklahoma, a lot of motion. There's a lot of things that he does in that offense. It's very friendly for the quarterback. I think Jeff Lebby is going to be able to dial it up. I think you're going to feel the effects of the offensive scheme change in Starkville. I think priority number one for them is getting back to a fun, high-flying offense. As our good friend Blaine Gilmer likes to say, guys, if you cannot be better than and you don't want to be lesser than, you got to be different than. I think Mississippi State will be different than, and I think it's going to spell different results for Blake Shapen. Over 3,500 yards passing. I think Blake Shapen's going to make a lot of people eat their words over this offseason, and I think the effect of Jeff Lebby on the offensive side is going to be felt immediately. My third and final bold prediction for Mississippi State this season, guys, how about going bowling in year one of Jeff Lebby? I think the Mississippi State Bulldogs, not only do they eclipse that 4.5 win total, I think they get to 6 wins. I think they'll pull a few upsets, get to a bowl game. I already mentioned the Florida game. I think the other most likely, you've got Texas A&M at home. You've got Arkansas at home, right? You look at the schedule right now. You need to win your non-conference games, right? You got Eastern Kentucky. Arizona State's tricky in week 2. You need to get that one, though. You got Toledo. You got UMass. If you can go 4-0 in the non-conference, I'm saying you're beating Florida. That's 5, right? I think you can beat Arkansas. I think you can beat A&M. Outside of that, can you upset Ole Miss and spoil their season? Can you upset Mizzou at Davis Wade? Those would probably be the most likely. I don't think you're going to beat Texas at Texas. I don't think you're going to beat Georgia at Georgia. The schedule certainly did no favors. I don't think you're going to beat Tennessee at Tennessee. But getting to 6 wins, I think is doable. I think it's realistic. And I think Jeff Lebby leads Mississippi State to a bowl game in his first year in Starkville. So again, guys, my 3 bold predictions for year 1 of the Jeff Lebby era are these. Number 1, Mississippi State pulls an upset in their SEC home opener against Florida. Number 2, Blake Shapen eclipses 3,500 yards passing. And number 3, Mississippi State goes bowling in year 1 of Jeff Lebby. Guys, it's going to do it all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Quick reminder, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell icon as well so you get notifications of when we go live and when we drop new video content, which is each and every single day. Also, guys, check out the podcast, which drops daily, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow along with us as well. X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, guys, check out our website, SECUnfiltered.com, for all the latest from us. Until next time, guys, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in, and we'll catch you on the other side.